Hi, let's make this in FreeCAD. Essentially what you have is a model where you have a pin and a slot, and you can move the pin constrained to the part of the slot. If this interests you, I'm going to show you how to do this. Essentially what we're going to do, we're going to build this model and I will show you how to make it move along this path. Now let's get started. We create a new project. Now I'm in the part design workbench. We create a new body. Let's label this body. We name it slot. Inside the slot, we create a sketch. For this purpose, it's going to be in the XZ plane. And I'm going to use the polyline tool here to create a sketch pattern. Now let's constrain this sketch. I will just arbitrarily assign values to it. I can't remember the last value I used. So let's make these maybe 100. Let's have a height here. Maybe 50 or thereabout. 50. Let's have an angle here. An angle between these two lines. Let's say 140. I can change it to 150, 140. Okay. Yeah, and let me just give this section a line here. Let me call this 200. But I want to put fillets here. This is the fillet tool. Okay. Yeah, because of this fillet position, it's going to alter the constraint. Let's this be radius be anything. 20, 30 is fine. Yeah, I see this move up, but we're going to correct that soon. Maybe this one again, 30. We can add the horizontal constraint between this point and here. Should be 0. Yeah, I think. I think it should be constrained there. I can hide this to see. No, I hide it here. Okay. So now I have this line on this axis. It's fine. I just want to, just a good practice to ensure that everything is fully constrained. So we can constrain that. Let's give this back 200 as we did initially. Now we can see that it's constrained to this angle here. It doesn't matter here. We can use 50 or just accept it. And this can be the, yeah, I leave it this way. So now we have a fully constrained sketch. So I close it. I will label this, we name it path. Then now I want to create another sketch. Now that other sketch should be perpendicular to this. You see what I mean in a minute, and I will call it profile. So while clicking on this button, creating sketch, and you can see that FreeCAD automatically like give us a plane that is perpendicular to the parts. So that is what I want. I want this perpendicular plane, and I click on it. Now, I have my plane. I need to create this sketch. The profile is just going to be like a C. And yeah, let me just show you what I mean by that. I can, to avoid confusion, we can hide this part here. I can just hide it, but we know it's there. Now let's rename this profile. I'll go back to the profile. Still using the polyline tool, I create this shape. And we're going to constrain it later on. So we can use a horizontal constraint in these areas, and we just need to hide the dimensions now. So maybe this should be like 10, and this should be equal to this in terms of dimension. For the length, I will go for the length. Let's do something for the length. It doesn't really matter. We could go for 30. Fine. I can always adjust this depending as we move ahead. Okay, let me do something first before I go ahead. Let's fix the inner length. Yeah, and let's be 30. And this length is equal to this. This length is 30. Return. Here, this is 10, 10. And the length here can be 30. Yep. Yeah, so the slot here, the shape of the slot here is 30, and this also one is 30. Then you see how that come into place very soon. And what I just want to do now, I want this portion to be at the center, the origin of the axis. So I can do that by, I want the center of this line to be at the origin. So I can do that using the symmetry, the Constrain symmetry tool. So all you do is you pick this 2 point first. You pick the last point, pressing down Control or Command if you're on Mac, and click the button. And this is what we want. So it's fully constrained now. We can close and I'll hide this. So you see, this is the shape you're looking for. So we have the first shape, which is the profile. The parts and the profile. So with these two done, we're now ready to complete the model. Click on the profile and come to this tool here where you see this additive pipe. It allows you to sweep a sketch along the paths. So we're going to sweep this profile along this paths. We already have the profile here, and here is asking you for the paths. So click on the subject and select the path. Now you see we have the slot. So the slot is done. The next thing now is to create the pin. The pin is what we move along the slot. To do that, create a new body. We name it pin. We create a sketch again, and we want it in this plane. We just create a cycle and make sure that the cycle is almost at the point. I see where the cycle is. We can fully constrain it just to be on the safer side. So I can allow the radius to be, remember the gap between the slots is 30. So 28 is fine. So that is about 14, radius 14. And we close. Using the sketch here, which is the pin, we call pin, we could just pad it by clicking on this padding. This time around, I think I want 30. Yeah, it's fine. In the previous example, when I showed you, it has this knob here. You can add a knob, but I'm not sure if it's, you can go ahead and add that, but I think for the purpose of this tutorial, we can just go ahead. But to add a knob is super straightforward. You just need to create another cycle. Okay, we can just go ahead and do that. So just for completeness, so I can come here. Nice. Ensure that you are on where you want to add the other sketch on. I wanted to add it here. I wanted to start on this face. So I click on sketch. And yeah. So maybe this other sketch should be, I don't know, you can give it any dimension. From 24. I'm just doing this arbitrarily. You see now the sketch is sitting on the face because we made it so earlier on and just pad it. Now the pad could be 15 or 20. Yeah. So now we are done. So we have our slots and we have our pin. So now how do we move it along this? How to move the pin along the slots? Now remember here, let's go back to the slots. We have this part. You can see the part is still visible. So we need to use this part as a guide for the pin. So this is what I'm going to do now, but there is the way we're going to do this is that we're going to use a script. And for now, the script does not recognize polyline. It works with B-spline. So even though this is the part we want, but it's not created with the tool by HOT that the scripts recognize. Because of that, we will find a way of tracing using the B-spline to trace this line. It's very simple, and I'm going to show you now. So, but let's have the part on, and we unhide the bodies. No, not this body. Sorry, we unhide the additive. So we have the part on now. So I'm going to create a new sketch. Sorry, let's do that again. Now, when I'm creating the sketch, I don't want it to be in any of this body. I want it to be independent. For us to create a sketch outside of these two body, we need to go to the sketch workbench. So you come here and come to the sketch. Now we can create a new sketch. So we want it to be in the XZ plane. And now we have a sketch that is outside of it. Remember, let me show you again. If I were to be in a part design workbench and I want to create a sketch below, it's going to tell me, it's going to be asking for a body because that is how the part design workbench is. But I don't want to create a body. I just want to create a sketch outside of these two bodies. That is why I have to go to this sketch workbench and click on the sketch. Remember, we've been working on the XZ plane and we still focus on the XZ plane. And yeah, so this is this other sketch here. So remember what we're trying to do now. We're just trying to, okay, we're trying to trace over this part. Okay. And to do that, we don't want this tool. This was the polyline tool we use. We need to use the B-spline. We use the B-spline tool. Remember, we're just tracing over this existing line. And we wonder why I'm doing this way, but that's a story for another day. Just trace it just like you see me doing. But yeah, I'm having issue with my mouse. Just nothing. But let's see. Yeah, and this is the end of the line. Yeah, forget this things like you cannot hide it, but we have the profile we want. And another thing I want you to know about the B-spline tool is it's very, very important that you start from the origin towards your right, because the starting point is recorded as the beginning of the line, and for the code to work well and to give you realistic behavior, it's important to start from this origin, or where you want, in your case, or anywhere you want the starting line of your profile to start from is where you start your first point from. How that makes sense? Now we now have this profile. I can go ahead and hide this part. You see, this is a line. Now you see, so this is an profile, and when I unhide the slots, see, it's just sitting perfectly in between all the slots. So let's just give it this a name. we can call it parts B or whatever. Just give it a very good name. So now we have everything we need to do. But to drive this pin along this part here, this line here, we need a script. The good thing, you don't have to create the script. I've already written it for you. And I'm going to drop the link in the tutorial. So it's a GitHub page. You come here and you see this code here. Let's click it and open it. You can copy it. When that is done, you come to the section here, you see the macro. Then click on macros. I already have my own, but for the sake of this tutorial, let's create a new one. So you come here, create. Let's give it a name. I'll just call it here tutor. Give it any name you like to give it. I just give it this name so I can go ahead and delete it afterwards because I already have a sample already. But when I click OK, you're going to see a console page. Just paste. You don't need to do anything. You can Control S or Command S, and you're done. So come back to your model, go to the macro, reset macro. You see it, it's called A tutor. Click on it. Now you see the script automatically detect a follower, which will get a pin and a part. It detected the first part, but we don't want the first part. We want the new created part, which is part B. Remember, it will not work with the first part because the first part was created with the polyline, but we want part B that is created with B-spline. This should be 100% S because you want to cover the full length, but if you don't want, you can change it. Then once you click OK, and you increase the slide, now you see it moves as expected. The good thing about the script is that you can close the script, examine your model, and restart it. If you want to restart it, just create macro, reset macro, and a tutor. Just need to press OK. It remembers your lag selection, and remember that it captures the current location of the pin on the model. And so you can go ahead and play with it. And that is all. But you might be wondering, like, how realistic is this kind of a project? Let me show you something here. Now, this is a very good demonstration of it. I have a DEX here, which I call it foldable DEX. And you see what this does in a minute. So I have a shortcut. It's the same script. Okay, just to show you the same script. Let's go back to the script and click a tutor. In this case, the follower is this, and the pathway is part. In this scenario, though, for some reason, which I might explain, I don't want it to be 100%. So that is where this feed comes in very important. And see what happens when I slide. You see what happens? The table floats. And this is possible. Let me go ahead and show you. This is possible because I have wheels, so we can hide this. This is possible because I have these wheels constrain to the slot, you can see it very well here. We can go ahead again and you can see the whole movement. Okay, so this is possible, and you can see. So if you're used to Fusion 360, this is like trying to mimic the contact set feature in Fusion 360. And in feature tutorial, I'll also show you other ways you can use the script. And that will be all for now. Thank you.